I replaced my entire business team with AI for 30 days. And here's what happened. 30 days ago, I made a decision that almost destroyed everything I built. I fired my copywriter. I stopped using my designer. I told my assistant she had 2 weeks off. I just wanted to test things and push things in place. So I replaced all 3 of them with artificial intelligence. Not because I wanted to, but because I needed to know the truth. If I'm using them part-time, using AI part-time, I will not really get what is going on. So I want to know, can AI actually run a real business? Or is it just hype for people who never actually tried it under real pressure, with real deadlines, with real clients who have real opinions? Normally for you, you are thinking, is this thing real before I fire people? This video is going to answer all your questions. What I'm about to show you is not a highlight reel. There were days it worked so well, I couldn't believe it. And there were days I sat at my desk at midnight wondering if I had made the worst decision of my career. You need to see both. Okay, let's go. This is what I did. In week 1, it was like an honeymoon with AI. I was energized and I was convinced that I was a genius. I was doing things and it was popping up and I felt I've wasted money and time all this while. I set everything up on Sunday night. Claude for writing and strategy, ChatGPT for quick content and ideation, Make.com, automating the lead pipeline, Canva AI, handling basic design, 11 Labs for voiceovers. Monday morning, a client emails asking for a full content strategy for their business launch. So normally, that's a 3-day project for my copywriter. 2 back and forth drafts, at least 1 revision call. I opened Claude. I pasted in the client's brief. I typed 1 200-word prompt using the RCTFC framework. The road, context, task, format, and constraint. I've talked about that here earlier. I pressed enter. And 14 minutes later, I had a complete 28-page content strategy. Audience breakdown, platform by platform calendar, caption examples, tone guide, competitor gap analysis, campaign concept for launch week. Yeah, for their launch week. And my copywriter would have charged me about 85,000 for that document. Claude produced it in 14 minutes on my pro subscription. I sent it to the client. She replied in 40 minutes. That is exactly what I needed. Can we get on a call this week? I was excited. So week 1, I thought it was untouchable. Yeah, it was faster than my team, cheaper than my team, and available at 2 a.m. I don't need to ask it if it has eaten or not. No human being will pick up my call at that time. So I was posting content every day, responding to every lead within minutes. I was producing proposals same day, and I had a good setup and everything was going fine. And then week 2 happened. I called the week 2 the cracks. Week 2, a long-time client came back with a project. Not a new client. Someone who has worked with me for 2 years. She knew my voice, she knew my standards, and she sent the brief with 1 specific note at the bottom. I just want it to sound like you wrote it. I knew there was a small or a little problem. You know how you write. So, Claude will not write exactly like me. That was the moment I realized the first crack. Because my voice, the specific way I build tension in a sentence, the Nigerian cultural references I drop naturally, the rhythm of how I write a pitch, the way I'm talking right now, it is me. AI could approximate it, but it could not replicate it. Not yet. Not without a significant amount of training and iteration from me. So I spent 4 hours that day doing something I had not expected to spend time on. Editing AI outputs to sound like me. Not writing from scratch. Editing, which is faster, but it is not zero work. Then came the second crack. A potential client called, not a message, called me to ask about a project. Make.com had been handling my lead intake automatically, but this person wanted to negotiate one-on-one. He wanted to feel me out, wanted the back and forth of a real conversation to decide if they trusted me enough to work with me. AI cannot do that. Not yet. Relationship building, the specific human texture of a real conversation that is still yours to own, is what you do. So with 2 lessons, AI is extraordinary at execution, it is not yet a replacement for human relationships or authentic personal voice. So don't be afraid. There are still some jobs AI cannot take. So week 2 also gave me my first real failure. I asked ChatGPT to research a Nigerian competitor's pricing strategy and give me a full analysis. You understand? I want to know how they do their things because they are successful. It came back with confident, well-structured information. So I built a strategy around it. I sent it to a client. The client replied, "Half of these companies don't exist anymore." I almost fainted. ChatGPT has hallucinated, invented businesses, invented prices, presented fiction as fact, which is very unusual. With complete confidence, I had to send an embarrassing correction and I apologized. In 15 years of business, I'd never sent a client a document with invented facts. It's like you have documented the facts. AI did that to me within 14 days. So week 3 and 4, I had to adapt. I called it the adaptation process. By week 3, I stopped trying to use AI the way I'd been using my human team. I started using it differently, smarter. The system I built, here's how I did it. I used Claude for all long-form thinking, strategy, proposals, frameworks, and analysis. I used ChatGPT for speed task only, quick captions, short replies, brainstorming lists, and I use Perplexity AI for all research because it cites real sources and doesn't hallucinate at all. It doesn't hallucinate facts the way ChatGPT does sometimes. Then Make.com, handling all admin automation, 0 manual data entry, 0 follow-ups. Me for client calls, relationship, follow-ups, voice calibration, and final editorial review on everything I do. Once I divided the work properly, AI is doing what AI genuinely extraordinary can do, and they are good at. Me, I'm doing what I can do. The system became something remarkably because all of us are joining numbers together and power together. So by week 4, I brought my assistant back, not because the AI failed, but because I realized I had been bottlenecked. The AI was producing faster than I could review. I need a human to manage the workflow, not to do the work. The AI was doing what it could do and it was doing it well. But to move things along, I do the relationship touch points and I handle the edge cases. AI still fumbles at that. The real revelation is here. AI doesn't replace your team. It changes what your team spends their time on. Here is the final verdict after 30 days. The honest accounting of what genuinely happened. What AI genuinely replaced, I have to be sincere. First draft writing of every document, proposals, strategies, emails, captions, and reports. Research structure, not factual sourcing, that needs verification. Admin and follow-up automation completely. Basic design briefs and creative direction notes. Meeting summaries and action item extraction. What AI could not replace. My personal voice and client-facing creative work without significant editing. Live relationship conversation and negotiation. Factual research without human verification. Strategic judgment calls that require context AI doesn't have. The revenue that month up to 31% compared to the same month last year. Time spent on billable work up to from 40% of my day to 68%. Team cost that month down to 60%. Errors sent to clients 3, all of AI hallucinations I didn't catch. Would I do it again? Yes. Would I do it the same way? Absolutely not. The 30 days taught me more about AI's real capabilities and real-time limits than any course on earth, any video or any article could ever code. AI is not coming for your business. AI is not going to replace you, but it is absolutely going to replace the parts of your business that are mechanical, repetitive, and structural. The things this is how we do it normally. You give it to AI, you just keep doing it repetitively. And if you are spending most of your time on those parts, you are the one at risk. You are wasting time, resources, and all the things you have in your business portfolio. Business owners who win are not the ones who use AI the most. They are the ones who understand what AI actually is for, and they build system around that understanding. I'm going to show you the exact system I built, step by step, the tools, the prompts, and Make.com flow, workflows, everything. in my next video so you can implement it in your business without spending 30 days learning the painful lessons. I've gone through it. You don't have to go through it. Subscribe so you don't miss that video. Like if this changed how you see AI, and comment below what part of your business would you most want AI to handle. Tell me specifically. I read everyone. Thank you.